Peace, peace, peace. First and foremost, man, hopefully the Most High in your house shall bless you all day. By His mercies, you are consumed. We're alive in the Most High in your house shall body, spiritually, man, and naturally, we're alive, man. And also, too, man, this is good being alive in both, man, because honestly, one of my somebody close to me in the word, she lost a friend yesterday, so that's just what it is, man. That's why even that was actually, that was actually on the morning prayers this morning, like, that Lamentations 3. And it says his passions fail, compassion fail not. His mercies like renew every morning, man. So even like us opening our eyes, man, because there's not many people woke him up today, man. So that's why it says who could praise him in the grave, man. But I just yeah, man. I just want to go into that a little bit because yeah, man. Those that lose loved ones, man. Whether in the word or out the word, like that's just yeah, man, it's always a tough deal, man. But you know what? But that's just is what it is. That's why, seek Him daily, kind of like what we always talk about. But anyway, man, I kind of want to get into this on, because I was thinking about this scripture on the other day, man, about what Yahushua said, in in Matthew 5, real quick, about before and it's been really big on like reconciliation. Kind of something I was talking about with my mother yesterday, reconciliation and forgiveness, man, because when you used to leave a gift after one reconcile with your brother, then what you call them, then leave a gift at the altar, man, because let's just get it real quick, man, because you see we're gonna look at that real quick, man, because Matthew chapter 5 and verse Matthew chapter 5 and verse yeah, exactly, Matthew chapter 5 verse 23. It says, if thou bring a gift to the altar, and therefore remembers that thy brother have aught against thee, verse 24, here's a point. It says, leave there the gift before the altar and go thy way. First be reconciled to thy brother, and then come after the gift. So yeah, after thy gift. So see, that's what it's about, man. Reason. That's why, that's what it is about, making things right. That reconciliation. And this is all in the law, of course, man. This is all of that, man. But that's really what's important, man. Because you know what it is too, and that's why what we about to get into in Ecclesiastes, Sirach. Let's grab that real quick, man. Let's go just get into it, man. Because let's get Ecclesiastes real quick, man. Because that's what aspect. Because not only is this talking about what what you call what Yahweh would say, or the word, when those that came to word, they just wanted to be, they just wanted the food. They didn't want to hear what Yahweh had to say. They didn't want to hear the gospel. They didn't want to hear the preaching. They just wanted the food, because Yahweh picked up on that. Also too with the with Peter, and I think it was John, or when the poor man, he was like, when he well, he was trying to get some food or money, but Peter healed him, and that's really an aspect of here, a word is better than the gift. The godly words, the word is better than the gift, man. So sometimes, because sometimes, man, if you run across people of people that's as homeless or poverty, honestly, that's living on the streets as poor or homeless, a lot of times too, sometimes they don't even want sometimes of course they do want some food or money or things of that nature, some other things to help them, but sometimes they just want to be realize that, okay, that's a life, somebody actually notices me, a lot of times people feel that nobody cares about them, especially people in that estate. And that's really is, man. They just want to be acknowledged. They want that acknowledgement, man. So that's why it is. That's why it says a godly word is better than the gift, man. And that's what it is, aspect of that too. But this is aspect of that too. A word is better than the gift. Leave your gift on the altar before that. Be in that reconciliation. That's the word. Honestly, that's a godly word between you and your brother or your sister, man. Being that reconciliation, man. So let's grab Ecclesiastes chapter 18 verse 17 here. Let's get this. It says, lo, is not a word better than a gift, but both are with a gracious man. But that's the thing about it, right, too. Because that reconciliation of word is better than a gift, be reconciled against a brother, because what? because that's what the whole gospel and witness and testimony is about, honestly. Well, that's one of the big aspects too, I should say, as well, because isn't that about the reconciliation for us back to the Most High and Yahushua, back to the Father, and through Yahushua? Isn't that Yahushua's, like, his goal was to do, one of his goals to do, because he had to fulfill the book at the end of the day, because, like, yes, he did die for us, like, so we can overcome sin and death, and he came to stop sin and death, but also so we, for our sins and things of that nature, but it was really for him in the Father's namesake and to fulfill the word. Then all those other aspects came true. But that's what the gospel and the witness, Yahushua even coming in, the new covenant, everything was about. Like the big aspect of it, I should say, because it's other things too as well. But it's about that reconciliation, man, because that's why us being reconciled. That's why it even says, listen, how can you have all against your brother, but doesn't, how can you be mad at your fellow brother or your sister, man, but you got your own sins, you it's stuff that you do, honestly, but the Most High house doesn't hold that against you. That's what Ecclesiastes 28 is about. That's what the law about bearing a grudge is about. Because listen, the Most High Yahushua don't do that with you. So why are you doing that with them? Isn't that what that Yahushua parable is about the about the debtor, the one that owed debts, and so that's just what it is too. But because let's read this again, man. Because going back to this reconciliation, also too, didn't say both are with a gracious man, and we're gonna grab that John 1 real quick. Ecclesiastes, also known as Sirach, chapter 18, verse 17. It says, "Lo, is not a word better than the gift, but both are with a gracious man." So see, let's go John 1 real quick, because isn't that what Yahushua came to? Let's go to John 1 real quick. John 1:17. It says, "For the law was given by Moses, but grace and truth came by Yahushua HaMashiach." So see, that part of grace is to that reconciliation, honestly, too. But let's go to this Matthew chapter 5, verse 23. It says, "Therefore, if thou bringest thy gift to the altar, and there remembers that thy brother have aught against thee, leave there thy gift before the altar, and go thy way, and first be reconciled to thy brother, then offer thy gift." So see, it's crazy, man. I was just watching, because and also too, this on a natural tip, right? Because say even in this, right, even in the world, even naturally, even brothers in the street, right, in the street life, right, in the street world, right. I was watching of course one of my favorite shows, probably definitely my top 3 my favorite shows of all time, The Wire. I was watching that with my homie over there last week. I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, and we noticed and this is what the show did perfectly, right? Because I'm in the group, in a group online, it talks about The Wire. It's kind of like fan group per se, honestly, about the show. But and I talked about this the other day. We was talking about this the other day. I like how the aspect of earlier in the early seasons of The Wire, right? They had meetings and sit downs, especially with the Avon Barksdale and the Omar Little War, that those of y'all seen the show. Notice how they had they was actually have a reason or sit down at one point. That was a thing. But as but see, even prophecy even says the world waxing colder and colder. But by the time Marlo came into power, that wasn't even a discussion, because on the natural tip, right? Because y'all Marlo, the character of Marlo, he's kind of progenitor of what we see now in the streets, pretty much. It's kind of like the brother said in the Facebook group. He said, listen, it went from code keepers to ruthless cowboys, honestly, and that's what it kind of is now. You see that dynamic in the streets now, honestly. I'm not promoting that. I'm just saying this is real life. I see this, honestly. Now, don't get twisted. Back when I was coming up, of course, it was always wild and stuff like that, but it was more codes and things of that nature. But I say that to say, because I was when I was watching it with my homie, I said, see, notice how I was listen. That's why a lot of these times, a lot of these younger brothers now, couldn't even do that, have meetings or sit there, because I'm watching The Sopranos. Because even shout out to brother, shout out to Yahweh or Joel from Son of Thunder, man, because he even said this one time in the camp. He said, man, because even in the mob, in the mafia, and in the midst of their wickedness, they could have sit downs, they could sit down, reason together, man. So how much more we in the Lord, especially our people, inside the word, outside the word, and that's the point that we're trying to make here. I'm not trying to glorify or something like that. I'm just using those as examples, honestly, because while I'm watching The Sopranos again, they can have sit downs, or if you watch, everybody knows the mob and the mafia, even they can have sit downs at one point. So that's what that Isaiah. Let's get that Isaiah 1:18 real quick, because this all goes into reconciliation. Honestly, But see that, but that's the thing, like, right? Even speaking of the wire, that's why most of these guys, these like brothers, can't even like one in the word we should be able to, man. But we're gonna get into that in a minute. But that's why these can't, because like Avon Barksdale, played by Will Harris, said in the first season to D'Angelo when he first came home. I mean, after his case, he said, "Man, you get your gun to get all emotional, man, because that's all we always talk about, girding up our loins and like or renewing our mind, man." Like David said to Solomon, show ourselves as men, man, because as men, because I say this even in the word, more in the word, even outside the word. I was talking about this with one of my brothers, like like a while ago. They said, man, honestly, man, all that like old tough guy stuff and things of that nature, like, man, especially like as like grown men, honestly, we should be able to not like, especially like 20, 25 on up, because I could see like in your early 20s and like even late like 18, 19, like, even though that's still too old, but still you still immature. But especially as grown men, honestly, shout out to brother Simbi Firstborn, because he said that we should be able to sit down and reason to one another. Don't get twisted. Now if it gets there sometimes, because that don't get twisted, because it's in the law, sometimes it might have to get there. But even it says, even if you get into like altercation with your brother, like you hurt him really bad, pay for a sick time, things of that nature, it's actually brotherly love in that, because things is honestly can get there sometimes, because time for peace, time for wars sometimes. But that's why scriptures say lay no hands on no man. But don't get it twisted though, there might be times for that, but more importantly, you should be defending yourself. But honestly, man, like for as men, that should not be our first violence and things of that nature, or this like throwing hands and like about to rumble, things of that nature. That shouldn't be our first go to. Now if it gets there, hey, it gets there. Sometimes it with men, it just gets there. Sometimes it's like, I'm not advocating for it, but hey, it just gets there. That this for our just people, our brothers, just in general. Honestly, this like in the word, outside the word, it should not get there. We should be able to sit down, talk, and reason. Honestly. Like, because this reconciliation is not only going to brothers, like, your friends, your loved ones, especially in the word, it's about the ones that you don't know either, also to your enemies as well. So, yeah, man. So let's grab this Isaiah 1:18 real quick, man. It says, "Come now, let us reason together, saith the Lord. Though your skins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Though they be red like crimson, they shall be as wool." Exactly, man. So, and that's just what it is, man. So you had to sit down and how to reason together. And that's why Proverbs 16 that says, "He that had handle blesses, he that had handle matter wisely," man. Honestly, man, because that's just what it is. That's all about reconciliation, like But what gets in the way too? Let's get this Ecclesiastes chapter 22 real quick, man. It's all right, 22. Let's grab this. Honestly, man, because yep, exactly, because this goes in, that this reconciliation. Yep, Ecclesiastes chapter 22 verse 22. "If thou hast opened thy mouth against thy friend, fear not, there may be reconciliation." But see, there may be reconciliation, because like we always say over here, sometimes, like, in our book of life, the Most High House Shop, people have beginning and ending chapters. But sometimes the Most High House Shop may have people come back, honestly. Like, that reconciliation. Now, that might not be, like, that might be for a little time, and it's a reminder, okay, I should never let this person back in. Or, like, or the Most High House Shop use it as a teaching moment. But that's why Philippians says, keep your eyes forward, in Proverbs, and the Philippians says, let go of things that are past. But also, too, sometimes Most High House Shop might have people come back in life, and that reconciliation is like, dang, okay, because life is like that. It's like, dang, this is the last person I thought I would ever be talking to again, or ever be like dealing with again. So that's with anything. It could be like and then any aspect too, like personal wise, like business wise, or a relationship or whatever. So that's just what it is. But that relationship thing is kind of different, because going to the law and things to the word. But that's something for another day. But yeah, man, but let's grab this too. Ecclesiastes chapter 22, verse 22. "If thou hast opened thy mouth against thy friend, fear not, there may be a reconciliation." But let's see what gets in the way, except for upbraiding. What's upbraiding? Like, okay, say if like, I was just talking about this with my mom. It's about it's about the love. It's not always about being right, because you could be like, I could be right in a situation, but even if I'm right, it's like, no, the love is bigger. I like, you gotta humble yourself down more. So I know it don't matter who's right or wrong. I just got love for you. The love for set person or party. It don't even matter. But see, upbraiding is like, say something like, shout out to Brother Chronicles. I mean, it chronicles Judah too, but Judah Mack and Maserati, because they said this a while back. They said upbraiding is this, like, say if you like, like, because even in the midst of you being right, you could still be wrong. That's the cool thing about it. Because say if like you correct a loved one, a brother, like even sister, correct sister, like something that they wrong on, and you kind of keep it going. Like, okay, see, this is what I'm saying, because this is why you're wrong here. That's why you're wrong here. It's like, okay, damn, like like you just told them, okay, you corrected them, and you move on. But it's like upbraiding is when you keep like bringing it up. Now you're wrong, honestly, because it's like, okay, today might be my day to be wrong, and now I got to get corrected, and like for our betterment, for our betterment. I had to get corrected. Okay, cool. But that upbraiding, that like it says in the word, that could like remove friends. Like that's what upbraiding is. Like pride. Of course, pride. Like neither side want to admit they're wrong. Like neither side. Like I don't want to admit I'm wrong, and this person don't want to admit I'm wrong, because love is bigger than that. No, it doesn't even matter. But or disclosing the secrets. Yeah, we are. That's kind of self-explanatory. Or like treacherous wound, for these things are every firm will depart. So see, let's go to that secrets, right? Say if we I remember shout out to Doggy Diamonds for saying this too, because he said this a lot of time. He said this one time in the podcast. He said, listen, if me and you aren't even cool no more, if we fell out and you had told me during our friendship, during our bond, whatever, me not to tell you something, tell anybody about something that you said, even if we're not cool, I'm still not going to tell anybody what you told me, because you told me not to tell anybody. Even if we if you fell out, if we're cool, then we're not cool anymore, then we're not we don't deal with each other no more, I'm still not going to tell anybody. That's what that means, the disclosing the secrets. Like now that you you did too much. You told somebody something like you wasn't supposed to say. So now it's just like I can't even. Yeah, I can forgive you, but I just can't deal with you no more. But see, those are things that can get. See, these are things that can get rid or can get in the way of reconciliation. Honestly, so. These things, every firm will depart. So let's get this as well. Ecclesiastes, also known as Sirach chapter 22, verse 22. If thou hast opened thy mouth against thy friend, fear not, there may be reconciliation, except for upbraiding, pride, disclosing secrets, or a treacherous wound. For these things, every firm will depart. So see? Yeah, man, that's what it is. But it's about that reconciliation, honestly, man. Because let's get this Matthew 2. Because that's what the gospel, is about. The new covenant is about. Well, one of the big things it's about, honestly, that reconciliation back to the Most High House, because then the Most High House, I said, what brings their bandage back to them. So yeah, man. But let's grab this Matthew chapter 5 real quick. We gonna end it. It says, Matthew 5 chapter 23. Therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar, and there remembers that thy brother had all against thee, leave there thy gift before the altar, and go thy way, and first be reconciled to thy brother, then come offer thy gifts. Now, don't get twisted, man, because the Most High house, they forgive Cain and Saul and other people. But even though you forgive somebody, that doesn't mean okay, I forgive you, but I'm not messing with you anymore. That doesn't mean forgiveness doesn't mean the dynamic always goes back to what it was. So it's like I forgive you. Listen, it's all good, but listen, I'm gonna go over here. You just stay over here. I'm just gonna go over here. I'm just gonna remove my presence from you. So forgiveness doesn't mean always. Of course, we always talk about, the dynamic goes back to how it was. That's just what it is. I actually got a situation like that, with some loved ones now, honestly. So it is what it's not involving me, but it's just like that. Yeah, but that's something else for another day. But anyway, hopefully, that's just is what it is, man. So hopefully, Most High House shall bless y'all day. Much love to y'all. So peace.